You know what time it is. Time to hang out with Mr. Coop. With Mr. Cooper. With Mr. Cooper. With Mr. Cooper. Get the latest scoop. From Mr. Cooper. From Mr. Cooper. From Mr. Cooper. Hang with Mr. Coop. With Mr. Cooper. With Mr. Cooper. With Mr. Cooper. Get the latest scoop. From Mr. Cooper. From Mr. Cooper. Yeah.
Welcome to the Big Scoop with Coop. I'm your host, Coop. Season 8 still going strong. If you haven't, make sure you go to the bigscoopwithcoop.com where you can see episodes from Season 1 all the way to Season 8. Big shout outs to everybody that's watching on Facebook right now, facebook.com/the Big Scoop with Coop. Big shout outs to everybody that's watching on Instagram, IGTV, baby. Make sure you catch me at Scoop with Coop. Also, don't forget to check me out on YouTube. Go to youtube.com, the Big Scoop with Coop. All right, guys, enough about me. Today's guest, oh man, he's doing great things at a young age. His name is Thane Marcus Ringler. Now, Thane has spent a lot of time at a young age on the green, and that means the golf course. He studied the sport of golf, researched it, practiced, and never gave up. That's how he got to the status of where he was in the sport of golf. Now, Thane has put down the golf clubs for a while, and he has actually became a motivational speaker. He has actually became an author of 2 books. That's right, he's doing big things, like I said, and he's actually mentoring the youth also. So like I said, Thane is doing a lot of things. His books is called From Here to There, and also he has an ebook that's out. It's called Catalyst for Hope. We're going to learn about that also later on. Now, also, he has a show that's out that's actually doing real well right now. It's called The Up and Comers. Make sure you do go look for that show. Talking real good things. He's doing big things. So, enough about hearing me talk about Thane. Let's talk to Thane and let's see what he's up to. Ladies and gentlemen, let's beat the thing. Welcome back to the Big Scoop with Coop. Of course, I'm your host, Coop. And like I promised before, we have the man himself. He is actually, you've seen him on the Adams Tour. He's actually doing this thing in golf. He's got his show out. We're going to talk about that later on. Also, you're looking at an author also of a couple of books, but we definitely will talk about it also. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Thane Marcus Ringler, welcome to the show.
Thanks so much for having me on, Michael. It's excited to be here and the Big Scoop with Coop. I mean, it's the real deal, so we're here.
Thank you. How's your day going so far?
It's been a beautiful day. You know, it's Friday when we're recording this, and at end of the week, it's felt like a productive week. The sun's shining, we're breathing. You know, it's a good thing. We're alive. There's a lot to be grateful for.
Yes. Now, Thane, like I said, you are a busy man. You have accomplished a lot in your career already. The cool thing is about your career, you're nowhere close to ending it. You've done a transition in your career, but we're going to start from the beginning of how everything started off for you. When did you first realize that you wanted to become a professional golfer?
You know, it wasn't that early, actually. I started golf when I was 3 or 4, so I've been golfing my whole life, and my dad got me started on it at a young age. And, you know, his dream was always for me to play professionally, but I was kind of the realist or pragmatist, and I was like, I don't want to get my hopes or expectations set too high and be let down if I didn't reach that. So it wasn't really until college that I began to let myself dream about that potential and really believe that it'd be possible.
Wow. Now, you know, I've seen a few pictures and everything. You started at a young age, working yourself up. Now, did you have any type of hurdles that you went through? I mean, as a professional golfer to get to the level that you was at?
Totally. Well, there's no journey that's worth traveling without hurdles, right? So they're inevitable in it. And most definitely, you know, growing up, I broke my wrist like 3 times snowboarding, so I had to, you know, overcome that in the golf world as a junior. And then into college, our golf team, we got in some trouble with our school, and we ended up losing the ability to play in nationals our junior and senior year because of that. So that was a hurdle and obstacle in itself. And then professionally, coming into the new space of professional golf, there was so many hurdles of fears of failure, unknowns, lack of identity, not really knowing who I was as a golfer, trying to get comfortable. I mean, the list is endless. And during the second half of my career, I faced an even more daunting hurdle, which is the problem of the body being injured. So I had a muscle strain in my left rhomboid in my back, and that repeated 5 times over a year and a half, on, off, on, off. And that was a really grueling, challenging, frustrating season, to say the least, and definitely a major obstacle.
That's crazy thing. You know, a lot of people think they can just pick up a club and watch a few PGA tours and think they can just go out there and swing and knock it 200 plus yards and think that they can become the next big thing. A lot of people don't understand this determination, the focus, the study, the research. I can keep naming on and on and on to get to the level. A lot of people don't understand also that you can't just walk on to a tour. You know, you have to make the cut, quote unquote. You know, and it takes a lot. Now, were you nervous when you first got to that level to say, you know what, I'm gonna start getting into tournaments, I'm gonna start going on tours? Were you nervous at all?
Oh, 100%. You're not. There's no human on this planet that isn't ever nervous. You know, I think that's what's funny is we think that the top performers aren't nervous or don't feel the jitters or aren't having that feeling before any game. But you ask any of the greatest performers, they all feel that sensation. The best players just use it to their advantage versus a hindrance. So we just have to learn to get comfortable with it and use it, because it is an advantage. It heightens your ability when you can use it that way. So I'm not immune to that. I definitely was. And, you know, the early years of professional were really challenging. I had a lot of untapped potential because, like I said, I was trying to figure out who I was as a golfer. And what I started out by doing is by looking to those around me, those who were already in that space, saying, what are they doing? What are they doing to be successful? And I wanted this magic blueprint for success. And it took me probably a year and a half to realize there isn't a magic blueprint for success. There is what's best for me based on my game and my techniques and personality and preferences. And I had to start leaning into that and let everyone else play their game, but I needed to play my game. And that took a while to learn, a lot of failure to learn that. And I think the fears that drive us, everyone faces them, and we have to work on reframing them and understanding that all we can control is the next shot, the next variable, right? And so I had to let what's gone go and focus on the here and the now.
You know, that's crazy. Ladies and gentlemen worldwide is watching right now. You know, what Thane is saying is 100% true. But, you know, for the people that's trying to get into golfing, take this advice. People that's not into golfing, this goes also into your everyday life. Fear will actually be a hurdle, an obstacle that will make you say, no, I don't want to do this. Or maybe I'll try. This looks too hard. No, I'm going to run away. Now, Thane, we're going to get into your books and everything in a minute. But, you know, I want to ask you a question real quick. Now, you have became a motivational speaker. You have came and you helped a lot of people around the world by visiting different schools, events. You know, you speaking to people. On a general, how do you feel within, let's say, from 2018 all the way now, just the last 2 years? Have you ran into a lot of people where you saw that the fear hindered them from getting to the potential where they need to be?
100%. I mean, there isn't a person that doesn't face that. I think we all face fears. They look a little different, but at their core, I think they all entail the same thing. It's this fear of a future outcome that isn't what we hope or expect it to be, right? This uncertainty about the result of our actions, and thus, because of that uncertainty, I'm afraid to even take a step. And you know, it's funny because I quote unquote had a golf career that was a failure is what a lot of people from the outside looking in would say, because I didn't reach my goal of the PGA Tour. I didn't get my card. I didn't make it to the top, right? And that was my goal. And so because I didn't accomplish that, that was a failure. And so if my identity is wrapped up in what I do instead of who I am as a person, then that whole thing was a failure. 20 plus years of my life of pursuing that end was a failure, right? But our reality is our identity isn't in what we do, it's in who we are. And so a lot of the focus is how can we be the person that we want to be? How can we live with integrity of who we want to be and who we say we are? And when we do that, we can embrace those fears by saying that, look, failure isn't fatal and failure isn't final. And really, we learn what not to do before we learn what to do. So it's actually an important part of the process. And I love Cus D'Amato, who's Mike Tyson's trainer. He had a quote about fear where he said, "Fear is like fire. It can cook for you, it can heat your house, or it can burn you down." And that's so true, right? Like we get crippled by these things, but we can also use it to our advantage when we learn to reframe what failure really is, like a teacher and a tutor in the process and the journey of becoming.
Wow. Now, with you, like I said, being a professional golfer and also being an author, you're traveling around helping a lot of people in need. Have you had any mentors for yourself on and off the green?
Totally. I'm really grateful for the people that have poured into my life, and I wouldn't be the person I am today without them. My parents were incredible in raising me and giving me a foundation and supporting me the whole way. My coaches in high school, he was one of the better high school coaches around, did a great job of giving us just enough to not be overwhelmed with information, but enough to move to the next level. My college coach, Jason Semmelsberger, was a great mentor for 4 years and really helped me in so many ways in life beyond golf that made me such a better man and grew me into a man. And then beyond that, the pastors at the churches I've been at have been amazing mentors and guiders. Other guys in the speaking realm, Houston Kraft, with his group in LA for a bit, and he was such a great mentor in guiding me into how to craft and create a message that connects and moves people. And then even now, I think about I just recently got married, and really my wife could be even a mentor in many ways to me, in that she gives me so much valuable feedback on where I'm not living with integrity that maybe I wouldn't even see, or ways that believing in me in ways that I don't even believe in myself. And so I think mentorship happens in so many realms, and honestly, I am who I am because of the influence of those people in my life today.
That's what I'm talking about. Big shout outs to everybody that's actually helping you out. Everyone that's watching worldwide, once again, make sure you do take down notes for this. This is something that you want to apply in your life. Now, I think a lot of people want to know, Thane, what made you transition to put the clubs up to go help other people around the world?
Yeah, good question. It really came down to after facing the injury for a year and a half, I sat with this question of who have I been created, equipped, and called to be? And I love that question because it's thinking about created, right? That's who are you, what are you naturally gifted in that was kind of from birth, right? That may be just a natural propensity that you have. Equipped, what have your life experiences given you up to this point? And then called, what is that passion within you that just will not die? And as I sat with that question, I prayed over it, sought counsel, and just meditated on it. I really came to the conclusion that I could be more effective outside of the world of golf than within it, for bringing good into the world. And from that, I really felt called to be a voice to the next generation. And I was like, what does that mean? I don't know. And I still don't know in many ways. But for me, the more I've taken steps forward in that general direction, the more that's become clear. And so really, we don't need to know the 10th step before we take the first. And we never really do. We think we know that 10th step, but we never do. And so by just taking that first step, the next step will then become clear, and it just follows in that order the rest of our life. So it's an adventure, really.
Yes.
And it was a hard transition again because it's this identity of being a golfer and feeling like a failure, but then understanding that in reality that wasn't true, and that those experiences had equipped me for what was to come.
Wow. Wow. Now, was it hard for you? And I understand the whole transition and everything, but to this day, right now, is it hard for you to go speak to people and it don't get to you? And what I mean by that is, I know you've heard a lot of stories, helping people. You've heard a lot of things that people have been going through, from personal scenarios, personal situations, to even publicized ones that you've heard online, you've heard interviews, you've read about. Is it hard for you to actually mentor and help people in front of you with different scenarios? Or is it the gift that God gave you that kind of made it easy for you to take heed of what's going on?
I really think that is partly how God's designed me, in that I get a lot of joy and fulfillment in coming alongside others in that process. I've been with this group in LA called Good City Mentors for the last probably 2 or 3 years. And man, it's just been such a gift to come alongside these high schoolers. And we even did a program for formerly incarcerated youth that we're up to 24. And I think the thing about mentorship or any type of role where you come alongside people is you learn more probably from them than you could ever give them in return. So really in mentoring high school students, they've been giving me the gift of learning their perspective, learning their struggles, learning their wisdom that they have even in high school, and just trying to love and show up for them. And so I get a lot of life from it. And like you said, golf is so individually focused, so that when I was spending my whole life focused on me and my performance, which was my job for a while, and I needed to, it was kind of life sucking or energy sucking because it was very myopic. And so now I get to take that focus onto others, and that's actually way more fulfilling for me. And I just feel really grateful to have that privilege and honor to do that.
Nice. Now tell everybody that's watching right now again, what is the name of the mentorship that you're with?
Good City Mentors. So if you're in LA, definitely check them out. Right now, because of COVID, we are virtual. So I am in Denver now, and I still get to be a part of it, and I'm so grateful for that. So shout out to Brian Larrabee and Good City Mentors.
Nice. Big shout outs once again to Good City Mentors. Keep doing your thing, everybody that's in Good City Mentors. Keep helping the youth out because they need it worldwide. The good thing is doing it virtually. Oh my gosh, it's saving people gas.
Yeah.
It's saving you gas. And you can connect on to them within a matter of minutes. But on a serious note, if you're watching out there and you need a mentor, if you know somebody needs a mentor, get in contact with them. Because how this world is going right now, I think everybody needs a mentor right now. So make sure you do it. Yes, yes. Now, Thane, let's talk about it, man. This book that you have done, oh my gosh. Let's start off from here to there. What is this book about, and how can it help people?
Yeah, so I wrote this book. The original idea for it was on a plane to Thailand, and I knew with the back injury that I wouldn't be able to compete, but I had to try because I already signed up for this qualifier. And I was just thinking, how could I repay my investors and sponsors for the gift they give me in pursuing this golf career? If I couldn't do it financially, what could I do? And so I thought, man, what if I wrote a book about these experiences and what they've taught me and gave that to them? And that was the initial idea for the book. As I wrote it, it turned into a book about how to pursue excellence in any field based on my experiences in golf. And really, it's about pursuing individual mastery, personal excellence, and the mental models or frameworks for doing that. And it follows this idea of mastery being simplicity on the far side of complexity, which just gives us this really simple framework of the process of development is simplicity, complexity, and then simplicity. And that far side simplicity is the beautiful picture of mastery that makes things look easy even when they're not. And so the book breaks down just some frameworks for that idea.
Nice. How can everybody get this book?
Yeah, it's on thanemarcus.com or Amazon or really anywhere you find books. I did the audiobook as well. So if you want to hear me read it to you, you can do that, which is a grueling process. Everyone says it, but I just want to affirm that it's a very challenging and grueling process to record an audiobook.
Wow. You know what, Thane? I'm not going to lie. I think the whole thing is just I think you have to have the mentality to write a book. And I gotta catch everybody. I gotta catch Thane off guard, everybody, and I'm gonna ask him a question. Thane, how did you get your mind mentally prepared to sit down and write a book? You can't just say, "Okay, I want to write this," and it's a paragraph, and you keep going. How did you do it? What was your intake?
Yeah. Well, I never planned on writing ever. I hated writing growing up. I was a math guy. So I didn't feel creative. I didn't think I had any creativity in me. But when I started playing professionally, I ended up creating a website and wrote blogs to keep people that I knew, family, friends, or other fans up to date on my progress. And from that, I started to enjoy writing. I was like, this is kind of fun. And then I started writing about maybe my routines or different parts of it. And so when I had this idea for a book, I already had a little bit of background in writing, but I knew that this was going to be a monumental task, like you said. And so I approached it. I think the most important thing is just to have a really strong motivation, a really strong reason why. And for me, it was that gift to those investors and sponsors to give back what they've given me. And that was a huge underlying motivation. And then the other is just an understanding that it's going to be a really long road. I mean, from start to finish, it was an 18-month process. So don't expect this thing to be overnight. And the beautiful thing is, if we can just remind ourselves, there are no overnight successes in life. There's 10-year overnight successes. It's not a wake up one day and you're there. It's a years and years of traveling to get there, and you never really get there. That's the whole point. Is even from here to there, right? There is no final there to get to. Once you get there, you move to another there.
So true.
So it's really that underlying foundation of motivation, a powerful why behind what you're doing, of why you believe in it, and then just the patience and persistence to see it through.
That's crazy. That is crazy. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're trying to become an author of a book, you heard that. Don't think you're going to get it done in a night. Don't think you'll get it done in a week. And if you're a extreme dreamer, think you're going to get it done in a month and you finish it in a month, go reread what you wrote, because I guarantee there's some stuff you need to change in that book if you wrote it within a month. So make sure you do go study your craft, and make sure you know what you want to write. Research, do it. Now, make sure you also go to ThaneMarcus.com. You want to make sure you get this book. Go to Amazon. Check this book out. You want to get it because it'll be a big impact on your life. Now, Thane, you wrote a book. Now you went to the new generation of booking, an ebook. You have done your thing on that. And if I'm not mistaken, it's called Catalyst for Hope. Tell everybody about it.
Yeah, as you mentioned earlier, right now in this world, there's one thing that we need, and it's hope. If anything that we need right now, it's hope. And really, I think that hope is one of the greatest fuels for living a good life. And I think that there's some catalysts, some perspectives that can unlock more hope, so that we're seeing more people that are hope-filled, hopeful. And really, I think everyone can relate that there's a feeling of hopelessness. And so this is to fill people up with it. And the 4 perspectives are just simple things that we are all in process, that there's always room for progress, that we can always make forward steps, and usually it's small, and that there's the possibility, leaning into the possibility and the potential of what we have, and ultimately having a purpose. So there's these 4 P's that I kind of walk through in it. And the whole point is, by having and focusing and reminding ourselves of these perspectives, we can fill ourselves up with this fuel called hope that can unlock our full potential.
Wow. Everybody, make sure you go get this book. Where can they find the ebook at?
Yeah, ThaneMarcus.com/hope is where, for a limited time, I'm giving it away for free. Just drop in your email and I'll send it to you, or you can download it. And it's a great way. I just want to spread the message and get more hope into people's lives and minds. And so hopefully this can be more hopeful filling, I guess.
Ladies and gentlemen, you better go drop your email in this right now. Go get the book. Don't do it right now, because we're in the middle of the show. Yeah. After this show, go drop your email. Make sure you do it. Get this copy of the book. I'm going to be dropping mine. I would love to read it myself. Thane, send me a copy, man. I definitely want a copy of this.
Done.
Yes. Now, Thane, you're doing, like I said, you're doing big things, man. You're on my show, but you have a show of your own that's growing by leaps and bounds, and you have helped a lot of people on this show, and it's called The Up and Comers. Tell everybody about this show. How can they hear it, and what is this show all about?
Yeah, so it's you can go to theupandcomershow.com to find out all about it. And it's been a sweet journey, man. 4 years, 160 plus episodes now, and I never planned that, never thought about how long we do it for, but it just kind of began as a passion project and has turned much more into a community now that's really encouraging and inspiring even for me. And, I've learned so much from the journey that it's worth its weight in gold, regardless of what would come outside of that. Really, the show is all about the process of becoming, of being an up-and-comer in life, of learning what living a good life means. And so we believe that's a lifelong process. We're always learning, we're always growing, we're always an up-and-comer, hopefully. And our mantra is having intention in the tension, which basically means by infusing intentionality, a reason why behind what we do, into our daily lives, we can better face the tensions that we all face every single day between this side or that side, and the truth is usually somewhere in the middle.
Wow. Yes. Everybody, please go check out The Up and Comers, because I believe there's something that you can learn off of this show that's going to help you out. If you're going through something in life right now, I don't care if it's a stressful situation, depression, whatever it is, go check it out. If you're trying to get from point A to point B, go check it out. Make sure you check this show out. Tell them one more time, Thane, how can they see the show?
The Up and Comer Show. Really, any place you listen to podcasts, just search The Up and Comer Show and it will pop up, or go to theupandcomershow.com.
Nice. You're doing your thing. Now, if I'm not mistaken, Thane, you got something else big that's going on. You got some online courses about to start, aren't you? That you about to help some people out. Now, I think you have about 2 of them, don't you?
Yeah, it's been a wild whirlwind of a year. Building these courses is not a small undertaking either. And so I am launching 2 courses, and they're going to be coming out in the next month or so. They're on this rally cry that I'm all about, and the rally cry revolves around 2 core concepts that I think all of us would benefit from growing in. And one is discipline, and the other is self-awareness. So by developing more discipline in our lives and growing in self-awareness, we're going to be better humans, better individuals that can make a better impact in the world for good.
Nice. Now, when can everybody actually sign up for this course? If they want to take it, they want to better themselves in life and everything, how can everybody sign up?
Yeah, the pre-order is going to be live the start of October. The courses will be launching probably near the end of October. I'm in the final processes of finishing the second one, and it's going to be a lot of fun to share it finally after a lot of work building and creating and putting these out. So I'm really excited to share it, and yeah, I just really, again, want to empower more people and unlock their full potential. And I'm hopeful and prayerful that these are going to be a great.
Something might be waiting for you on the other side. So go take the classes, go sign up, get the pre-orders in, go do it now. Not now, after the show, go do it. Make sure you go do it. Now, what is the best way for people to follow you on social media? Because you are running from here to there, here to there. What is the best way for everybody to